Reports of UFO sightings come from all corners of the globe.
I was taken on board a 200-foot diameter spacecraft in the Mojave Desert and given...
I saw two great big real bright lights hanging up in the air.
Most believe these alien encounters are a modern phenomenon. But the fact is, they have been reported for thousands of years.
Practically every human civilization have been in touch with extraterrestrial beings.
In India, Israel, the Mayans, and the Aztecs.
The idea that there was one or more non-human groups inspiring us is the truth.
Just because we can't travel from star to star does not mean another more advanced society can't do it either. I think that's the height of human arrogance to say just because we can't do it, another more advanced civilization can't do it either. So, you know, we have to stop looking at us that we are the pinnacle of creation, because we're not.
Celestial beings. Visitors from the skies. Deities descending from the heavens to interact with man. Could these worldwide stories be the foundation for the prevailing belief that something greater than ourselves, from beyond our world, created the universe as we know it? Almost all of the great world faiths are based on stories of celestial beings who visit Earth. Many millions of people accept these legends as part of their core beliefs. And from the earliest cave drawings to images at Roswell, we see artists' interpretations of extraterrestrials or gods coming to our planet.
Okay, the man who made the longest moonwalk in history has a message for everyone on Earth.
Yeah, he says we are being visited. He predicts a day when leaders of other nations will begin stepping forward and admitting to alien encounters. Mitchell says he wants the U.S. to lead by example, not follow. He's calling on President Obama to release all classified files about government interaction with aliens.
For centuries, mankind believed that life only existed here on Earth. But today, many scientists agree that we are not alone.
Practically every human civilization that has ever existed tells us we are not alone in the cosmos.
A long, long time ago, extraterrestrials came here, and through a targeted mutation of our genes, we became human.
We have, in theory, a worldwide civilization that has extraterrestrials interacting with it, and human beings, as we are today, who are possibly the genetic breeding of these aliens.
Evidence of what some believe are our true extraterrestrial origins. The Bible answers the riddle of our origin in 4 simple words: and God created man. Darwin looked at monkeys and saw Michelangelo. But for modern anthropologists who try to put a name and a date to the dawn of humankind, the answer is constantly changing. Fossils discovered recently in Ethiopia put our earliest ancestors at around 4.4 million years. But some scientists believe that there is evidence that we are much older than that. On an archaeological dig in Hueyatlico, Mexico, Dr. Virginia Steen McIntyre discovered tools that predated the earliest known humans. Her find created a storm of controversy.
I don't really want to be in the center of a controversy. I never asked to be in the center of a controversy, but I'm here, and doggone it, I want to get the information out. I want to get at the truth. I guess that's what it is.
Why does Dr. Steen McIntyre feel the need to protect her artifacts from her more mainstream colleagues? Why are contradictory findings being met with contempt instead of excitement? Some researchers charge it's because these new findings would turn modern anthropology on its head.
I believe that we came from outer space.
All the evidence suggests that human beings, as we know them, did not originate on this planet, but have come to this Earth from other dimensions.
I believe that we came from outer space, that we are the direct descendants of the intelligent people who landed here a long time ago.
Gene Phillips is the founder and president of the Ancient Astronaut Society. He claims that museums are hiding thousands of artifacts that do not conform to their narrow view of anthropology.
This is an exact replica of an object that is in the Smithsonian Museum, and they call it a stylized insect. The Smithsonian had it on display, and they used to sell replicas in their shop.
Phillips claims that after the Ancient Astronaut Society interpreted the object as a prehistoric space shuttle, the Smithsonian removed the original from public display. Phillips and his group have studied more than 150 ancient sites in 30 countries. These 5,000-year-old masks were unearthed in Eastern Europe. They bear a striking resemblance to modern-day depictions of supposed aliens, known as Greys.
There's a site in Bolivia, South America, called El Fuerte. What it looks like is a catapult-type launch site for space vehicles.
The Ancient Astronaut Society is not the only group supporting the theory of interplanetary contact. Author Zecharia Sitchin concurs in his book, The 12th Planet.
There is one more planet in our own solar system, not light years away, that comes near Earth, between Mars and Jupiter, every 3,600 years, at which time people, intelligent people, beings like us, come and go between their planet and our planet, and brought us, Homo sapiens, about sooner than we might have appeared otherwise. Don't call them aliens, because we look like them, they look like us.
All we ask is that people have an open mind. Look at something with an open mind with today's space-age eyes.
Scientists on the fringe of modern anthropology believe that their theories are not taken seriously because mainstream scientists are afraid to admit that they've been wrong.
All the textbooks would have to be rewritten. All the exhibits in the museums would have to be changed. This would be very embarrassing. And people who have positions to defend like that don't like to be embarrassed.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. What if it were true? Did ancient aliens really shape our history? And if so, have they been helped by individuals among us, chosen to communicate important messages? If extraterrestrial beings have inspired and affected human events, then is it really, as some suggest, to help improve humanity?
Ed Mitchell can captivate you talking about his 9-hour and 17-minute moonwalk. It was a record. But there's something else he'd like you to know.
I don't know how many or where or how they're doing it, but they've been observing us and here for quite some time, and we see these craft all the time. I believe what I'm saying, and I cite the evidence that I know.
He says that the government he served in the military and as an astronaut is perpetuating cover-ups of alien sightings, going all the way back to the legendary 1947 Roswell incident, an alleged alien spacecraft crash where remains were allegedly recovered.
The reason for the denial was, number one, they didn't know if these were hostile and could we protect ourselves from them. Didn't want the Soviets to know, so they devised to lie about it and cover it up.
I believe there are out there.
Billions. We got billions and billions of stars in a galaxy, and billions of galaxies, and it doesn't take but a few planets around a few stars to have quite a few civilizations.
Describe what they look like.
I could, but it would probably take a whole lot of time. The reason I state that, when I got out in 1989, we had cataloged 57 different species. You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference, except for some of the things that they might be able to go ahead, even in a dark room, and touch an object and go ahead and identify what color that object might be. They would have a heightened sense of smell, sight, hearing. The situation is that you have various types of what we normally call grays. We didn't call them grays in the military, but you had at least 3 types of the grays. You had some that were much taller than we were. The unique thing that I'd like to point out for the most part is that the entities that we did catalog were in fact humanoid. Now this created a situation where the scientific community was trying to figure out why that would be the case, because you would expect that if life evolved on other planets, that they would take on some type of other being, so to speak, not necessarily look humanoid or be bipedal such as we are. But apparently we got quite a few of the species out there that are humanoid in appearance, and that creates a question that yet has to be answered by science.
Human life on this earth will change for all time. The planet will never, ever again be as we have known the planet to be. That's why it's a huge revolution. Once we finally, as a globe, say to everyone with CNN and all networks, we're not alone, ladies and gentlemen. Here's extraterrestrial A, B, C, D, E. There are planetary systems throughout this universe. There are galaxies filled with life. Then an entire new ocean, the biggest frontier, opens up in front of us. And rather than be afraid of it, I think we ought to go forward with courage.